So here we go. Welcome to this little discussion on zombies from Games Workshop. So first off, let's take a quick look between the new ones that just came out versus the older ones from, I don't know, I think that was like the 90s, the late 90s. So here's one painted up. You can see huge difference in the size of their hands if we hold hand to hand. It's like 4 times the size, the old one, compared to the new one. So the proportions are a lot more anatomically correct. The heads are massive on the old ones. So they're really a great sculpt. Again, you can see those hands, and the feet aren't too bad on the old ones. It's the hands and the head. The height is actually fairly comparable. They're, of course, not on the same type of base, but they're close in height. So in that sense, not too bad, but I'm very glad these guys are being retired and we get to enjoy these super awesome new creepy looking zombies that I can't wait to paint up. So before we talk about these a little bit more, just going to go over a couple quick points when you're building them. So here's the Deathwalker zombies instructions. The biggest thing I found when you're clipping these guys out is essentially being careful for a few of these arm pieces because they tend to break. So for instance, 14, 15, and 16, be very careful snipping those. Even 10 with the spade, very tricky. A couple of other things with some of the head options, you can customize them somewhat. The head option, switching them around, is pretty convenient for about a couple chunks of them. So like you can do again 6 differently, and then another group of 6 differently, and then there's a group of like 4 and 8 or something. And yeah, you can mix them around. So none of these zombies is exactly the same. They're all somewhat different, even though if they have multiples of the same body, which is nice, but it's still nowhere near the customization of the old ones. That's the biggest plus with these old ones. You can customize the holy gajibas out of these things because they have the torso section, the leg section, arms with weapons, and multiple head options. Well, with these guys, it's like head, arm pieces, and the whole body. And some of them, which are different, if you have the cursed city box, they come with this grave piece that goes on their back, which is pretty cool, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But there's some problems with those 8 models. So when you get through most of the instructions, it's straightforward. Push to fit, snap together. Well, not quite push to fit, you still have to glue, but basically push to fit. These little pieces here that stick out of the zombies, you want to be careful with that. See if I can find an example here on the spot. Where's one with roots going out of them? No, not you. Some of the ones with the pegs, yeah, here. So these are very flimsy. It might be kind of hard to pick up on camera, but you can see that piece there kind of sticking out. Yeah, that's flimsy. So some of them have pikes that go through, and some of them have branches. So you got to be careful with the combos because some of these don't match with the back pieces of some of these ones with the graves on their that are supposed to carry the graves on their back. Now you don't have to put the graves on their back, but I don't know, I find it looks kind of cool. You'd have to just do a little putty piece because there's essentially these little peg slots. There's holes on their backs. So again, the biggest problem with this kit is these don't match with every single back piece, because you have a warrior back piece, you have an old lady back piece, you have some decrepit man and another decrepit man. Not all of these work because some of them have the pegs in the middle, some of them have the pegs up top. It kind of varies, so just be aware of that when you're doing this. Again, you can just cut off the peg like I did on this one here. So I actually cut it off and stuck it on. Kind of needed a bit more glue, but besides that, this kit is awesome. It's very detailed. You can get some really cool combinations here. Like, here's a lady with no jaw and hammer. Pretty awesome sculpts. You can even not give them an arm attached, like this poor lass. Let's see if we can get that to focus. Yeah, there we go. So she has no arm. And she's carrying an arm. Is it hers? We don't know. And my personal favorite out of all these, before we move on, I really like the scythe guy and his crazy little helmeted head. So he's reminds me a bit of a poxwalker. Yeah. So that's the zombie kit. If we talk about price point, it's expensive for what it is, to be honest. Again, it's a great kit, but compared to the customization of the older kit itself with these old sculpts, you're really missing out on a lot in that sense. But you could still make individual zombies out of all these different combos of pieces, so again, not bad. Here in Canada, it's about 65 smackaroos for a box of these, so quite steep. But you get 20, which is nice, because you're going to need to probably put them in squads of 40, which is what I have these old ones for. I'll have to incorporate them in or do something fun with them, or eventually save up. So that's been my little chat about zombies. Again, great kit for Soul Blight Gravelords. Definitely would recommend. Just be aware of a few of the challenges with the kit. Alright, until next time, happy hobby.